gracious introduction. So hi, how are you all doing? At the back? Comfortable? I'm sorry to say I'm personally not feeling so well, like fever, headache, sore throat, everything is going to me. So that might not be going well into this show, but I'll try my best. Okay? When ma'am asked how many of you have already attended the Get Inspired session, almost everyone was raising their hand. So I think I want to ask you this, like how many of you have attended the Get Inspired session more than 5 times? Just guess. So a lot of inspiration, absolutely. So we'll try our best to not make you over-inspired, okay? I am not feeling well, but I think Dips is very well and fit.
Yeah, I'm healthy. Hi everyone, this is Deepsing Syangtan, and I personally would like to thank USEF-Nepal and the advisors over here for giving us this opportunity. And yes, Bibek is absolutely right. I'm fit and fine and healthy, and I have a very strong voice as well. So today we are going to present you our story. We are responsible for inspiring you today, but I guess we haven't achieved that great things that we will be inspiring you. We are just in our 19 and 20s, so we are sharing our story, and hopefully this story will help you guide in your college application and choose the best fit college for you. So we are going to start our presentation.
I think I should say, I'm really glad to see all of your faces, smiling and bright. And even sad to say that within 2 months, when you start giving me acids, it will be like, and then again at the end of December, when you're filling the college applications, and then that's the last moment, it's the day before the, application date is expired, and you will become like almost crying.
So I'm here to when the results of the college application will come out, and then that will be there.
So like in today's session, we'll try our best to not make it serious. Okay, so if any of you in any time gets bored, just raise your hand. I have the solution for every boredom there is possible. So okay, so this presentation is basically how we spent our time or what we did in our last year. So beginning maybe June when we were selected for the opportunity.
Yeah, it was probably in June.
Okay, so from that time period to the time when we got accepted into colleges. So within that time period, what we did is basically shown in this application in different phases. And because many of you have already attended a Get Inspired session and might have also attended a session by student like us who will either be attending a college or who is returning now. So I think we will try our best not to be redundant and give you new perspective. Okay, so let's begin.
Okay, the first presentation is about U-turn in our life. Actually, I did my A-levels from Bennington College and I was a science student. So actually what happened was I would be joining a medical study in Nepal because I was interested in biology. So I had thought of joining the medical preparation course right after my A-levels. But what happened was I was selected as an opportunity funding participant, and that gave me the opportunity to apply to US colleges. So I didn't want to miss that opportunity, and I joined that program, and that was the U-turn in my life. And I think Bibek also had the same story.
Yeah, it's pretty the same, just a slight difference. I give plus 2, he was A-level student. So how many of you are plus 2 students here? A lot of them, I think the majority, and it's good to see that because plus 2 generally means that you are either going to engineering or medical. It's a general thing, and even my life was headed that way. But I ended up in USEF, and then we began our application process here. So that is one thing. I think that is a difficult choice, and especially because my mom was not willing to send me to college. She was always saying, you're such a kid and you're not going to US alone. And even the next U-turn was our, choosing the kind of colleges or kind of curriculum, like we are going to now attend in US, because I don't know if everyone is here alert about the liberal arts curriculum. How many of you know it?
I think most
Okay,
of
so
them.
most of you know. So it's in liberal arts you have a lot of choices, and so my family was basically even trying me to do engineering in US, but suddenly, or like when I started exploring colleges and the curriculum, I felt like I have to explore, I have to try other things, I have to listen to my heart, and that's what I did. And so, that was one of the phases where we had to take tough decisions.
Yeah, actually we both are joining the liberal arts college, and so I guess that was the U-turn of our life. And after being accepted as an opportunity funding participant, we had the first stage, and that was giving tests. We had to prepare for the standardized test.
I think we ought to give, because our topic is best tips for best fit. So let's give some tips, of the presentation what we just got. So it was the U-turn in life. So, my suggestion is, my tip is, whatever decision you have to make in any part of life, especially in the college application process, listen to your heart. Because, at the end, I think the decisions you make through your heart, that's really you're going to cherish for life. That, at the end you are going to be happy, and we are the examples. My mom is still, questioning me about what I'm going to study, what you're going to do in life. But, I tell her, I don't know what I'm going to do, but whatever I do, I'll be happy. And that's a great thing. So, listen to your heart, be brave, be confident and try to convince. Yeah.
Okay, now it's about giving a test. I have a really bad experience about this test. I think never in my life I have been so worried about the test as the SAT test. Still remembering the hall where I give the SAT test, I get the goosebumps. Actually what I did was, while doing an A-levels, I had procrastinated my A-level examination. Actually, we are allowed to keep it in a maiden session or an ON session. So I decided to give my A-levels on October-November sessions. And you know that SATs and the TOEFLs are given during those months. So I had a really hard time juggling between those activities, because I had to prepare for my examinations. I was an opportunity funding participant. I had to research for the colleges, and I had to prepare for this test. So I think I had a really hard time, and because of this, it was reflected in my SAT scores. I couldn't perform up to my expectation, or up to the standard that was required for very competitive colleges.
Yeah, and even for me, like SAT was the most difficult part, and that is why we are going to SAT optional colleges. I think it's because that SAT demanding colleges wouldn't have taken us, or they did.
Maybe.
So
why not?
At least I was rejected by many of them. I just couldn't memorize the words. I couldn't understand half of the passage, what was it about, and I was wondering why are they not saying it straight, man? Why so much circling around? So, and it was a difficult thing, because my way of learning is really by using it. Until I use it, I'm not gonna memorize or learn it. So, and even in a short time, jumping from the science curriculum to an advanced English test was a difficult thing. And what I used to do was, instead of just memorizing the vocabs, I started incorporating English in my daily life. So that was one of my techniques. I'm not sure if that worked for me, because I realized it late. But I have understood now that language is something which takes time to set in your mind, and it should be something you use it, not just learning just the vocabs isn't really going to improve your reasoning. And I think that will be my tip, because make English a part of your daily life. You can read English newspaper articles, whatever magazines you get. You can read English classics, novels, and whatever you get, try to grab it. And that will really not only help in your SATs, but you'll realize the importance while writing essays and supplements and and while even giving your TOEFL exams. TOEFL was a bit easy, and if you are good in the basic English, I think you will do great in TOEFL. But SAT is something we were not good at, and that led us to search for colleges that were SAT optional. We will talk about it later.
Yes, CR section was actually a hardest part. I remember that I had a few times. I mean, I didn't put my best effort in the SAT preparation because I told you I was busy, so I didn't give much time. But the time that I gave, the time when I prepared for SAT, I only used to read the vocabularies, only the vocabularies, and they were useless because I used to learn okay, if I learn today, then tomorrow I will be forgetting it, and I have to again revise it, and that was a very bad approach. I think I ended up in the range of 450 like in CR. But after some of my friends suggested me, instead of reading the vocabularies, why don't you just read out the passages that were given in the practice tests? And I started doing that. And though there was not a huge improvement, but I improved my marks to 550 in CR, and that was, I guess, that was a nice approach for me.
And and SAT is really important because if you want to be safe in the safe side of your college application, I think you ought to score.
And that gives some sort of a confidence, I think, when you get good scores in SAT. When the SAT results were out, that night I couldn't sleep really because I was like worrying whether I will get to college or not, whether the college that I get will be good or not, whether the financial aid will be good or not. So that really worried me. So I will tell you to prepare nicely for the SAT. Devote enough time on the SAT preparation. This sounds cliched, but the marks of SAT is proportional to your devotion, I guess.
But we have options here. That is why we are here today. Because of course we are getting an SAT optional, then we'll speak about it as well. So I think we already
basic.
Yeah. Can we have the next slide?
Now it was about finding colleges. I knew early in my application process that I would be going to a liberal arts college because I am a person who loves to have choices. So most of the colleges in my college list were the top liberal arts colleges. During the October-November session, I also thought of applying early decision to college. So there was one college. I will not take that name of the college, but there was one top liberal arts college. And I wanted to go there so badly because I have researched about that college a lot. I know I have communicated with the college admission office, I have contacted the current student of that college. And so I decided to apply to that college under early decision one plan. But what happened is that because of the workloads, say the heavy time, I could not apply to that college under early decision one. So I decided to apply the same college under early decision 2 plan. But when I look at the college confidential and the acceptance rate of Nepali, one of the Nepali students was already accepted into that college. So I got afraid because I didn't have a good SAT score. So I just felt that the college won't accept 2 Nepali students in the same year. So what I did was I didn't apply to that college at all. I just kicked it out from the entire college list. Now I had to select another college within the colleges that I had prepared. So BERS was one of the top choice colleges for me because I have personally known one of the current students of the BERS college was Adnan Saha, and he had given us a session, and it was really inspiring because he told us how he had transformed himself from a modest student to a very talented student in a BERS college, how the opportunities in BERS have shaped him, and how the BERS community have prioritized education along with the extracurricular activities. That made me inclined to BERS college, so I applied to BERS college under early decision 2 plan. Now I'm going to tell you one thing. When I look at the college confidential, there was no acceptance in BERS college from Nepali in the early decision 1 previously. So I thought no Nepali student had been accepted in BERS college. But I think after a few days, there was a post that a Nepali student from Radhabanga had already been accepted in BEDS college also. So I was really scared whether I had made a good decision or not, because I also thought that the two Nepali students in BEDS, I mean, there won't be two Nepali students in the same year in BEDS college too. So I was really worried. I used to go to temple to pray that please God, may the admission office accept me, because I wanted that badly. But luckily I was accepted, and that was the end of the
all is well that ends well. So I think in finding college, I'm kind of lucky, because Bennington was not like my first choice college or something that I was saying, I want to go here. It was just one of the colleges I applied and I got in. And I think one of the reasons I got in is because not many students were applying. Not many students were very much well known about Bennington College, and did know that it is giving full scholarship, gives full scholarship to students. So I think that is one prospect you should look at, because at the beginning, you remember like when we were preparing our first college list, it was like US News ranking. Everything was the top list, and slowly the list goes on, it modifies, and then at the end it becomes a good list. But still, I think finding colleges should be kept in mind from the very beginning. So you should look at, so my tips is, you should look at colleges which not everyone is applying. So in that way, you are not cancelling each other's chances. In many cases, it is that if one or two Nepalese students is being accepted in that college, your chances decrease drastically. So keep that in mind. And the other thing,
I guess that's not actually true in every cases, because Bennington also has accepted almost 5 Nepali students this year.
But you can never say.
And in my college there are 2, actually we 2 are going together.
But you don't want to test risk. It's 1 year you are losing, man. What you are.
Okay.
So and next thing I think. Next thing I think, be very cautious in preparing the college list. Now you have only very if you are beginning the application process, then you will have limited ideas and you have limited names. But go through the various books that or sites that has list of colleges, and try to find while preparing colleges, you can apply to 20 colleges through Common App, and I applied the full quota. And I think the best tip is apply to make 10 colleges that are from the yellow book down there, like which are 100% need met, and which a lot of people know and are applying and are very good. Have 10 choices, have 10 colleges of your choice that you really want to go to. But the other 10, apply to colleges that that are a kind of safety. Have a mixture of colleges. Like if you have Harvard in your list, also have Howard in your list. That will increase your chance. So have a mix of colleges, and try avoiding applying to colleges which are basically the same. So it doesn't really matter if you are going to BEDS or Colby, because they are in the same ranking. They look for same kind of people, and if you are applying the same colleges in the 2 colleges, then if one college is willing to take you, then the other will be willing, and if one college is willing to reject you, then the other will be willing to reject. So try avoiding applying to colleges that are basically the same, and have a mixture of list. And another thing, you want to say something?
Yeah, I would say just prepare the college list as per your own academic competence, I guess. Don't listen to others. I mean, others might be saying you might not be accepted into that college just because you have some moderate SAT score or something like that. That might be another factor that can be your asset, and that can be an attractive factor for the college admission. So just prepare the list as per your own academic competence and where you feel that you will fit perfectly in. I mean, in case of financial aid or in case of the student they accept. And there were, during my application process also, there were friends who knew a lot about the college application process. I mean, they would be saying, the Cornell University had these, the Harvard University has this like this, if we do this, then we can get a better acceptance rate. There are lots of students who know a lot about you, but I think comparing yourself with them is not a good job. Just have faith in yourself, and the first process is apply to the colleges. Anything else?
Yeah, I think I have to add one point that I just forgot. Anyone could? Okay, so I think I'll remember it.
Okay, now it's about writing essays and supplements. I think exactly the same expression would be applied to you when you have to write almost 20 supplements or write the personal essays. I also applied to 20 colleges, 21 exactly, because I applied to Yale University and Yale NUS, so that should be 21. So I applied to 21 colleges, and there were several supplements, several application essays, and it was really a very boring as well as very difficult task as well, because you have to be, 100% sure that that essay is gonna admit you, because I think college admission essay is a very crucial part of an application, because it is gonna show you how you are as an applicant. Your overall personality is to be reflected in that college application essay. And I think I spent a lot of time on brainstorming the topic that I will be writing in my Common App essay. Actually, the topic was really simple, but that worked for me.
Okay, so I think my view on writing essays is that I didn't spend a lot of time, because people say essay is very important, and for one essay you have to devote enough time, you have to prepare for months. But I went with my gut feeling. I wrote whatever I really felt like writing, and then I didn't change the topic. So in many cases, and both the options are good, you have to be sure about yourself. Either you want to go with your original first third, or you want to revise it. Make sure you love your essay yourself. Don't try to second guess what colleges might think about this essay, and Sulabh sir might will explain you in this college application session. And the supplements. Yeah, supplement is one of the things that is really neglected by students. In most of the cases, what happens is you write one supplement, and then you keep the name of other college and you send the same supplement, because they are asking the same question: why this college? And the features of colleges, the way we see, they are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But be careful in supplement, because I think supplement was one of the things that helped me in my getting in Bennington, because there were 3 supplements, and one of them was like very long, 500 words, and other 2 were short supplements. And a lot of people, they don't apply to college just because they have to write long supplements, or I'm not sure you will realize this at the end part, when you are rushing with everything. You have just found a college, and then you have the deadline is tomorrow. So don't do this thing. Like, don't just apply to colleges because they don't have supplements. A lot of Nepalese, they apply to Trinity College and Skidmore College because they don't have supplements. And when take supplement as your strong point, try to make it your positive factor. Why just wasting opportunity? You grab every opportunity you have to show the admission officer what you are capable of. Don't let any opportunity miss. And so I think this is really important. Writing essay, essay has determined a lot of college decisions, and they are really important. And I was this morning surfing for any interesting video that might be good to show you, and I saw one of the Amherst College, committee who were trying to evaluate people, and what they were saying was, this is just a tip, make it a kind of thing, because I have seen in a lot of cases that in your essay, if you are reflecting truly yourself, and kind of, if your academics are good, even though you are facing some hardships in your life, then that also counts. And that, for example, okay, suppose there is one applicant who is doing excelling in studies but have all the resources he wanted, and there is other applicant who is equally talented but is lacking in the resources his parents can provide, or the finance or anything, or any disability. So you can express that without thinking what they might think, because that will really help. Be honest, be candid, and you don't have to write very difficult vocabs, because a lot of I have seen that even seniors who have got into good colleges, their essays were simple and they got it. Essays should reflect a story. It's not your writing skill, but it's a story. It's a it's a thing that is accept the numbers that you're presenting in the application. So yeah, give importance to essay.
Yeah, I guess for the application essay, it's about a story. It can be really simple. I mean, it should not be a life-changing, because you are just senior teenagers. I mean, you haven't experienced such a great, life-changing experience. But you can just mention some of the daily events that is important to you, and that reflects your personality. I guess that will really sign as a very good application essay. And talking about supplement, yeah, that is also really important. And I guess you have to start early about the supplements, because I had to remove some of my college just because I could not write the supplements, because if you apply to many colleges, then you have to be more prepared. Like for example, I just didn't apply to Princeton because they had so many supplements, and I also added Trinity College at the last moment of the deadline, because it didn't have any supplements. And so writing supplement, I think, yeah, Bibek mentioned that it needs to be specific. Yeah, it should not be like the supplements should not be such that it will be applying to every colleges. I mean, we should not be talking about the general things that attracted us to the college. We have to be rather specific, and that will, if you do that in your supplement, I think that can really help you. I also did that for BEDS, because I knew most of the things from Nan brother, and he mentioned what really is valued in BEDS. So I did that.
And yeah, I remember the last point I was going to say. It's like I made a mistake was like I was finding colleges very late, and I found colleges after the application deadline, and in the case where they were giving merit-based scholarships. So just keep in mind this thing, that even if the regular decision deadline might be January 1 or January 15 for the colleges, their merit-based deadline is early. So most of colleges, they do have the deadline either December 15 or December 1st. So try and find colleges early, so that you can you get to apply within the deadline of the merit-based scholarship, and then that will surely increase your chances.
Yeah, priority deadline is good for you. Now lastly is about PCR supplement interviews and the college communication that we did. Yes, okay. During the college application process, I mean, you should not be only applying to the college, or you should not be only preparing for the SAT. I mean, the college see you as an overall candidate. I mean, you should be not all-rounder, but you must try to engage in different activities while you are preparing for your college application. I mean, while I was preparing for the college application, I was working as an assistant teacher in my college, and I was also learning dance. So I mentioned all of these things while I filled out the common application forms. So ECA is really important. I mean, while ECA, it should not be like you should be doing the volunteering works only. I mean, you shouldn't, I mean, it is not required that you should be volunteering to the kids, or you should be doing some work for HIV, AIDS, or things like that. Any simple things can be counted as an ECA. It can be either a babysitting experience, or yes, it can, because recently I just applied to one of the program in BEDS College, and I mentioned about the babysitting experience, and they really appreciated my work, because I saw that babysitting experience can help you get learn the child's psychology, I think that and that really worked for me because they accepted me for that program.
Okay.
So I would say get engaged in a different activities if you while applying to the college as well, because that can really enhance your application.
So I think by this time, by the end of monsoon, I think last year it was the Kosi flood that affected whole Nepal, and even this year the flood is everywhere, it's ruining everything. And what I did was, and I was working in this organization, not a youth, but that we formed ourselves, and as a way of social service and volunteering, we were collecting funds for the flood victims, and we conducted rally, we collected funds, gave it to Red Cross societies that it could send it to the affected areas, and that was one of the things I could mention in my application. So in your free time, carry out some extracurriculars. That is not going to harm you in any way, and it will it will help you even after you get into college, because okay, for example, you have to find a job on campus, then they will look for experience, they will look for your resume, and try to build your resume strong. That will help you, and make ECAs, I think, something that will reflect you, accept your academics, not just as an interest. Like you play guitar just as a hobby, in the evening sitting on your balcony. Not just make it a hobby or an interest, but try to be professional. Show them that you have skills, you can develop it, you can study it more, and a specific talent, except your studies, is what colleges are looking for, not just how many involvements you have. You might be involved in singing, dancing, acting, anything, but if you have if you are recognized actor, if you have played in a few dramas, if you have performed, that is going to help you than having a lot of extracurriculars. So keep that in mind, and try to utilize your extra time. It's better to do things if you are sure about your major, and if you are applying to those kind of colleges. For example, if you are studying computer science or software, then build a software. That is going to help you. They are looking for applicants who have done things, not just who are willing to do things. And
well, it is also required for some of the supplements. I guess I remember that Middlebury College and Dartmouth College have a question like, what is the extracurricular activities that you are involved in? So it can be really helpful for a supplement as well.
Yeah, and art supplement. Yeah, that is, I think, one of the things that helped us, both of us, because Deepsing was a great dancer, and he sent a dance supplement. And I was interested in music, and I sent a song supplement. Nevertheless, I think they liked it, so they accepted us. And that is one of the additional factors you can show to college. You don't have to send supplements just because you are taking that particular major in college. But just I say, as at the ECAs, supplements will show you, show your personality from a different aspect, and that is a good thing, because you are not a professional or something in your in your bachelor's degree or after some you completed +2. They will see professionalism in your graduate studies, in your particular field of study. But while applying for bachelor's degree undergraduate, I think they are looking for a overall applicant, not just bookish person, but as a whole applicant who can learn more. And I think that is an approach taken by liberal arts curriculum. They are trying to develop a person as a whole, not just in his particular field, but as a whole. I think that's
and while looking at the YouTube videos of I checked for some of the YouTube videos of supplements, and I used to see there, and the students used to saying very, very professional dancing skills. I mean, they used to train for, I think, from the young age, and they had such a such a sharpening skill that we feel scared to send our dance supplement. I was so scared at the time, because they were sending like the top dancing, like the ballet form, and they were so much professionals. So I used to get scared whether I should be sending it or not, because some of the colleges write like if you send some of the supplements which are of a mediocre type, it will just deteriorate your application. So I was just scared, but I think we Nepalese have got the some of the dance form which are so cultural or so much to ourselves. They are so much unique, and I think we can say that what do you have? I think we have to just express it, because I also feel that my dance was of mediocre type. So, but they accepted me. So that means they appreciated my initiative of getting engaged in the dance. I think that was, and I'm also taking the dance courses this fall. So maybe, as Bibek said, the continuity in your passion or the continuity in your extracurricular activity will really help you.
Yeah. And next is interview. An interview is something not everyone is giving, and I think this is a loss of opportunity. We can understand that it's difficult, or we're not so confident enough to just talk to anyone or express your feelings, or present yourself just by phone, or everyone doesn't have that equal capacity to present themselves in conversations. But I think you should take this option, and both of us did, and it helped us, because I was really playing to my strengths, and I really encourage you to do that. If you are not good at SATs, you should have other strong points that will encourage colleges to take you. So you can just sit idle and say and pray just like the Muslims did. But you have to try every option there is. And what I used to do was, I used to give interviews even to the colleges that I wasn't applying. So there are a few colleges who offer interviews, before you apply to them. So some of those are just informative interview, and some of them are evaluative interview. So evaluative interviews, they really matter in your college decision, and if you can impress the admission officer or any alumni who's taking interview, that is really a very good plus point to you. So try to give interviews, that's an opportunity that will help you. And the first interview will be really scary. You don't know what questions they will ask, you don't know what you're gonna say, but slowly, after giving 1 or 2 interviews, you will be used to it. And ask for interviews, ask college admission officers, I'm this, I want to apply to a college, so give me the chance to interview. And so sometimes they have alums here who will meet you personally and talk with you, and they are not gonna interrogate you. They are just having a warm conversation. So try to share whatever you have, whatever you feel is really your talent, and that is one of the points that helped us in college decisions.
Yeah, interview is really important, and remember this, if the deadline of the college is January 1st, I think the deadline for scheduling the interview will be like December 1st or something like that. There will be certain deadline for the college interview also. Since I didn't care about the interview initially, so I missed most of the interviews. Out of 21 colleges, I got interviews for only 4 colleges, and Best was one of them. I got alumni interview in Nepal from the alumni of the Best College, and for all the colleges I did a Skype interview. And and some of the colleges will also mention that if you are not giving interview, it can affect your application. So interview is a real chance to polish your application, I guess.
And one of the applicant who is going with us this fall, who is attending a US college, he was saying that he gave interview and there was a panel of 5 to 6 persons who were behind in the Skype, in his computer screen, and he explained that we have 18 hours of, I think it was winter time, and we have 18 hours of load shedding, and we have to go through such hardships in our country, and he said that that helped him. So you never know, you can one point may click, and he got full scholarship. He had to pay $0. So try to give, don't be afraid. You can even practice among your friends. You can just try to conversate more in English. And even interviewers are not so fluent. Sometimes you will get an international student who is a senior or a sophomore taking interview, and you'll not understand a word he's saying. His accent is like of a Russian. You can understand. And so that's an opportunity. I like giving interviews even though I was not applying. I want to talk to people. And I found it interesting. I gave around 8 interviews, I guess. And I applied maybe to 6 of those colleges, even though, and I learned how to.
Yeah, try to say to the interview earlier because it can really help your application. And also, while doing the interviews, be careful what you speak, I guess, because that will also matter. I remember while giving an interview to Trinity College, that was an admission office, and she asked me, why did you apply to Trinity College? And I said, because Trinity loves Nepali kids. Because Trinity has so many Nepalis. That was so big mistake, I guess. Though I withdraw my application after my audition, but I guess because of that answer, I would have been rejected.
Okay, so next is college communication. And there's a lot of students are asking me, like, what is college communication? And we had the same question when we were in your phase of our application. So I think communication, it will start slowly after you start finding colleges, after you ask for interviews. Interview is a very effective way of communication. And then, you hear about some kind of merit-based scholarship it is giving, and then you ask the college admission officers, like, what is this, what are the criteria, and they are willing to reply. There are some admission persons who will not reply to your mails, and that's sometimes irritating, but try and communicate with, try other options. So there is at least one person who will be willing to reply you, and a cordial conversation that will benefit, because that will help. And admission officers, they really keep in mind the applicants. I had one experience that of St. Olaf's College, an admission officer was giving a presentation here, and so I met him. Just I said hello, and I want to apply to St. Olaf College, and so what kind of major, I want to do this major, and I just asked him here, and then he returned and he emailed me. I had to send an email to him, so he found my email address and he emailed me. It was nice talking to you here, and I look forward to reading your application. So they keep in mind applicants. They are looking for applicants who are interested in the colleges. So try to communicate. Communication doesn't just mean that you have to send a bizarre email to them and ask questions which are already clearly stated in their websites. But there can be things which you can ask, and you can show your interest. If you are, for example, doing some professional work or have something, your original work, then you can say, like, I'm doing this work and I want to study this, I want to continue this major, so like how is going to help me. And I think they will reply, they will communicate, reply, and might not like drastically affect or make them change their decisions, but it is going to help anyway.
Yeah, it helped in my case as well. Actually, what happened is that while sending my dance supplement to the college, I firstly sent the supplement to Yale University, and it has a link, like the art supplement was directly linked to the Common App. So after getting a fee waiver in the Common App, it will automatically guarantee a fee waiver in sending the supplement as well. So what I did was I sent my supplement to Yale University. Now I presume that all of the colleges that were listed in the Common App will be giving me the fee waiver. So I just waited until the deadline, because I think I will be improving something over there. I will be adding some extra things. So BASE has a deadline on January 15. So I decided to send it in January 14 or 13 like that. But it didn't give me a fee waiver because it has an external art supplement. So there was a fee of $5. So I was really scared at that time because I thought I would be sending it directly through fee waiver, but I could not. So in that case, college communication really helped me because I had been in touch with the international admission office of the college already. So immediately after knowing that it did provide me the fee waiver, I called her. I called her and told her my problem. That's because I thought it would be guaranteeing me a fee waiver, but it is asking for a fee right now, so I cannot send. I just sent all the information over there, and she sent me a fee waiver code.
We are out of time. So what it means is communication.
I mean, communication is really important for.
And I think you have to try to communicate with alums as well, or students who have already gone to US colleges and universities are studying there, because they can give you tips. They can suggest you colleges. They can say how to present yourself. So I think
I think it's time for us to open the question and answer round.
Yeah. So that was what we had to say. I think we might have missed something.
We must present our last slide. This is our best big college.
Okay, you even made this. So yeah, I think I have to share this. I think I got in Bennington without any test. I gave a TOEFL test. I gave SAT twice. I gave that subject test once. And none of these tests were required for my decision in Bennington.
But I say my SAT 2 scores because they were good.
No, like if it is not required, I didn't probably misunderstand. And
questions
so,
now.
like even colleges accept without SAT.
Now questions.
Okay.
Okay, any questions you may have?
Come on, ask.
Could talk about academics.
High school.
Academics.
High school scores and all.
I got 2 A star and 3 A's in my A levels. And we got
Okay. So I did +2. I scored well. I had an 86% aggregate.
oh.
I think my academics was good. Any other question?
What topic did you choose for your application essay?
Essay. So have you attended any of Sulab's application
Yes.
essay? So you might have mentioned, like a guy is writing essay about being a vegetarian. I'm the guy.
And I wrote about public transport.
Anything else? Come on, there are a lot of queries. Major. So this Bennington College is really a unique, college, even among liberal arts, because it doesn't have a specific major. It just says majoring in liberal arts, and it has concentration. So the subjects I'll be taking this year is one of literature, one of psychology, and one of geology. So subjects which I never studied here, I'm going to take those, and that's my approach to study. I'm going to explore for maybe 2 semesters, 2 semesters, and then decide what my career is going to be.
And question.
This question is for you. So, why did you choose a university over the liberal arts colleges? Because I think that you could have mastered in your subject because of the various facilities available in the university program rather than the liberal arts curriculum.
I mean, you want to say that why did I choose liberal arts college over other colleges which are, the focus in the career oriented?
I think it is because
Yeah, I know that's not very choices. No, because I have only most of the liberal arts colleges in my college list. I have only 2, I guess, Dartmouth and Yale in my list, which were not liberal arts colleges. Because I think liberal arts colleges give that facility of choosing different subjects which we haven't tried right now. Like Bibek said, I want to double major in chemistry and dance. This is a weird combination, I guess. And I also want to try all the different subjects which I haven't got opportunity to try over here. And further, I guess the close connection that are available in the liberal arts college is really good. And I'm the person who learns best in a small environment, and I guess liberal arts provides that.
Can you apply without STEM? Sorry?
Yeah.
Can you apply without STEM? Yeah, we did. And there are a lot of stand-up college choices that you can find. And sometimes colleges even waive your essay requirements. They are just asking, okay, so you can, there are options. So you can send either SAT 2 and plus an analytical paper instead of your SAT reasoning. So if you're afraid that your SAT reasoning score is hampering you, so you can have some choices in some colleges. And don't be scared that you don't have a good SAT score and no college is gonna take you, because yes, colleges do look for SAT scores, but it's not everything, because they are looking for something more than numbers, and you should keep that in mind.
Like you talked about interview, right? Like how do we get prepared for the interview?
Like this is a preparation. You are talking to me. This is a preparation, of course, and it is. I think the more you give interviews, the more you conversate with people, the more you will develop your communication skills.
And they will be simply asking you about your background and why you choose the colleges like that. It will be really simple.
Yeah, some colleges even list interview questions.
There won't be any IQ questions.
Anything else?
What are the suggestions you would like to give to a high school student?
Everything we told is for high school.
Still in high school and willing to go.
Okay.
You can start your research on the college only. You can just prepare for this SAT while you are doing your high school. So yeah, that can be.
I think.
And you can visit USEF frequently. That is the biggest advantage.
US students, they apply immediately after.
Yeah, they do not have a gap year.
School, yeah.
And when we tell that we have a gap year, they feel surprised. Oh, you have a gap year. I have that experience.
Okay, so yeah, prepare from the beginning. That will help you, because if you have already, if you know about these processes before you are even applying, so you'll have time. You don't have to rush. That's a good point. You can either take a gap year or not, but gap year really helps you to prepare more for your application.
How much scholarships you put people?
It's a financial aid actually, and we both have 2,500 ESC, right?
Yeah, so we both are receiving around 60.
Our expected
and then it's
our expected family contribution is $2,500.
Totally during the college. I mean, was it waived or?
It was waived, yeah. So in most of colleges, in a lot of colleges, what happens is if you have studied high school in English medium, then they kind of waive your TOEFL scores. I wanted them to evaluate, but they waived.
Yeah, some colleges waived me for my general paper score also, and some waived for if you submit some sort of English research papers.
Yeah, analytical paper.
Yeah.
What was your art?
Huh?
What was your art?
I told you it was a song supplement. I recorded a song and then sent it.
Yeah, he recorded in his studio Nepali and Hindi song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you just really passionate on singing, or you just did it for art?
I used to sing while in school and college. I sing in home. So I think it would be an additional point. So I recorded dancing. Anything else? Because I think it's the last one of the questions we are taking.
So, for example, if I were to say an art subject about a song as a view, as it is in Nepali, so it's not converted in this. I would write a poem in Nepali and then send it to the college. Should it be converted into English language?
I think, I don't know, creation, I think you cannot just convert it. I also was, interested in poetry. I used to write poems, but I found no means of sending it because they were not going to understand it. I just enlisted in my activities that I have published these poems, and I don't think you have to convert it your English song into Nepali. I think there's no medium as well, and you can send because they are looking for what kind of voice you have, how prepared you are, not language. Time's up.
Final words from both of you?
Final words. I think we have to first thank USEF for providing this opportunity. Like at the beginning, I was feeling sick, but I think I've recovered now. It's good talking to you, and you know, I hope our tips will help. Don't get scared.
Yeah, just keep in touch, everyone. If you need any help and any advices on college application, we can share our story of being in the college. And I think USEF-Nepal has provided us wonderful platform, and the Opportunity Funding Program was really great. We are gonna miss USEF family, Opportunity Funding family.
And the audience was great, yeah.